Good evening and welcome to the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. Tonight, again, I have with me Tony and Liam. Evening, boys.
Evening, lads.
Evening, Joey. Evening, Tony.
We're lucky enough to have Nathan Walker join us, the head coach for Narangba. Obviously, quite a successful side down in Cap 3 at the moment. Mate, how are you?
How are you, pal? I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, great. Thank you for jumping on for us.
You're right.
We might skim through some stuff because I want to get to your expertise in BPL through to the Cap Leagues because I think you've got pretty extensive knowledge there. So we may even switch it up and change it around and work to your strengths to start up tonight. Obviously, with the catch-ups, I was talking off the call. We're coming up to mid-season where we're going to have a look at the redraw of the competition. You mentioned there was some pretty good. I think one that obviously stands out in the BPL, and I always think when it comes to yourself, your success that you had when you were at Caboolture, the game, obviously, we've got 1v2, 3v4, but St. George, your old rivals, taking on Grange. St. George, pretty comprehensive on the top of the table. Do you think this is still going to be a pretty good competition?
Yeah. I think it's been pretty good. St. George, for I've ever known them, don't matter who plays for them, it's just their grit to get through games and their will. They're a good, strong, and good combined team. So Grange is going to find it pretty hard, even if it's home or away. It's obviously if it are they at home, St. George?
Yeah, St. George on Sunday. St. George on Sunday.
Yeah. So I think yes, it'd be very hard for. I'll be back in St. George. It'll be a tight game, but St. George will be hard to beat at home. Tight pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting because that result's going to obviously give a pretty good opportunity. I know we had Cormac Malloy on the other week from Ace. They're actually taking on Toowong. So there is only 1 point between Grange and Ace. Do you think that's the opportunity for Ace, obviously, to jump into second spot before we get into the back end of the season?
Yeah, it is. And that's no easy task for Albany Creek to go there as well. Like Toowong's a pretty good outfit, but it is a big chance for him.
Yeah, obviously it's a bit shorter rounds this week. The only other game we've got sitting in the BPL is Acacia Ridge versus Gap, but I think that's a bit of a formality. Obviously, both those clubs sitting in 8th and 9th place respectively. Looking through there in the Capital League 1, obviously they're just tying up a few other fixtures. So I know they've got New Farm taking on AC Carina, Mount Gravatt versus UQ, and then Spirit versus Virginia. But I think looking through, it's Cap 2 and Cap 3 that are going to be the more interesting ones coming through. Tony, I know you're a bit preoccupied at the moment. Where are you this evening?
Goodwin Park.
Goodwin Park, home of Olympic. How's it going out there, mate?
At half time. Well, I've watched a few games this week. I watched Olympic play Power. I watched Gold Coast Knights Power last night. Yeah, it's a deep, interesting comp.
Well, I think getting down to the business end, do you think they're going to come away with it tonight?
Olympic?
Olympic, yeah.
I think that game that will decide it. I think Olympic play Lions 2 weeks. Second last game of the year.
I think it's going to be close, especially after how Olympic went against Power. Leo goes the turn, 11 from 11. He's done well. Pine Hills obviously taking 4 points halfway through the year. Is that it? Do you think that?
Well, I'll tell you something. I know Nathan's there. I think Football Brisbane should go to Nathan and give him his trophy and go to Pine Hills and give them theirs, and they'll start preparing for next year.
I wouldn't call that. My league's still tight, buddy.
No, mate. You're just playing the cage game, you know.
Yeah.
Big time, mate.
Yeah, it's tight.
Hypothetically, Nathan, obviously going back a few years, we used to have the playoff games between the Capital League teams, and I think we copied the New South Wales format of Champions Cup. How do you think you'd possibly go against Leo Siriardi's Pine Hills?
I don't know. Like depends on on the day, really. I think I would give him a good crack. My team's pretty good, but again, I know when we're playing the pre-seasons, when we played like Sapphire and that, the boys, that obviously you step up when you play better teams. So Leo's definitely got a good team there. So I don't know, it'd be a good one. So we should hit him up and have a crack, eh?
No, I'd love to see that. That's I love fantasy booking leagues, and I love the idea. Like this year, there's definitely a few clubs standing out.
You want to tee it up, Tony?
Wouldn't it be a bad game?
Yeah, I reckon it'd be good. Neutral venue.
That's right. We can organise something like that.
Yeah, I think Leo will like it.
Something, what do you reckon?
Tee up first postseason game of the year, maybe.
Yeah.
But obviously in Cap 2, I think once again, kind of like Cap 1, not as much else going on. So Moggle will take on Ripley. Newmarket will take on KPR. So not too much that'll change the table there. But obviously, Nathan, we're talking. You guys sit top of the table. You've played all your games, so a bit of a rest for the boys this weekend. Yeah. What's the game that stands out for you? What do you think's going to shape the second half of the season?
Well, there's two teams fighting for 6. Tarragindi sit there at the moment, but obviously you got Logan Village pushing hard, and they've got a quality team this year actually, Logan Village. So you got Tarragindi at home to Willowburn, the Toowoomba team, another really good outfit. So that, and then again you go on Tarragindi, and they got a really tight pitch, and Willowburn's got a massive pitch. So I'm liking Tarragindi's chances if they're switched on. They could probably hold that spot. If not, they could even jump into 5th. But yeah, you got Logan Village travelling to Mustangs, so that's a must win for them to even stand a chance of pushing in that top 6. So tight, and then you got Springfield. They're on fire. It's even hard to score past them, so they should do the business against Rams. Just hope they don't score too many.
I'm torn on that one. They're kind of. No offense to yourself because you guys are killing it, but I'm from Bethania and I know my work, we got close ties with Springfield United. So for me, I'm a bit of a neutral. I'll probably go down and have a beer and watch this game. How'd you go the other night? What were your thoughts with the game against Springfield? Obviously, top of the table clash, your almighty attack against their solid defence.
Yeah, it was good. We got off to the start we wanted to. We pressed hard and we created the early chance, and then we got another little counter attack away, and we got 2-0 at half time. Couple of early chances after the second half, and then I think Springfield obviously, I think they just come out of the shell. I think they come out maybe a little bit nervous or whatnot, being in that position. But yeah, they did really well. They got into us, pressed. They got 2 goals, and then they got the third, and then we got a late equaliser. So it was actually a really good game. So like I said, their keeper's unreal. He's probably one of the best keepers I've seen in a while. To be fair, he could do a job in the Premier League easy.
He's I think he's had stints. Lliam, forgive me if I'm wrong. I think he's had a stint at one of the Ipswich clubs in the State League, or I think even Lions was mentioned previously. I think that's Declan, their captain as well. He was one of the big pre-season signings.
Declan, I'm not familiar with the Springfield keeper.
Sorry, what have I might have got the wrong name, but yeah, I know a lot of hype around the club with him coming in. I believe he does have NPL and BPL experience, so definitely a leader among that club. And coming from close by to the community, I know they have a lot of positivity around him. Obviously, encouraging some of the young boys getting out there and some good experience to offer to the club.
Yeah, no, they're a good bunch of team. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The last 6 games in Cap 3 anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you find, obviously, Narangba itself? I know you're on the north side, but for anyone from the south side, Narangba is a bit of a day trip. How have you found travelling to the likes of Willowburn this year? What's that like? How do you find their contributions?
Yeah, like you've got to travel, but it's just getting players. I think we were lucky enough to get the Willowburn on a Saturday. Like if you're traveling on a Sunday, you're basically ready for work, and then you got to travel to Toowoomba. It's just trying to get the players' mindset into the game, and sometimes half the challenge before the game. But yeah, no, it's our boys haven't. I think we've travelled quite well, to be fair. So yeah. It's been good.
You're sitting top of the table, so I don't think you can do too much better than where you are now.
Yeah, well, there's 3 draws there. We could have fixed that up, but it is what it is. It makes a good competition.
Oh mate, like I want to see you do well, but obviously we all love the drama of football. That's the hard thing, when you're with one club, it's you want to stay the course and not have too much drama. But I know myself being one of the neutrals, we love especially the Cap 3 this year. It's been a fantastic competition.
Oh, it's been really quality teams too. Like when I was there for Caboolture, it was really, like you said, it was us and Sanford and St George and Caboolture. But going back to Cap 3, it's like I said, them top 6 definitely deserve to be there. Like it's strong, like it's a strong league. So yeah, praise. I guess praise has got to go to the coaches and just the way the style they're playing, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. With you mentioned there obviously your journey with Caboolture. Do you hope to replicate that with Narangba, or is there any other thoughts for what you want to achieve as a coach?
Yeah, like I had a mate over there. He contacted me to the back end of last year's season at Caboolture there, and it was a local club. I had a fair bit of other offers, but this one appealed to me the most. And yeah, I thought I'd just go back and help another club out, go for the ranks, if I could help. Yeah, like I said, we got plans with Alex, the president over there. I've got some plans with him, a 3-year deal. So hopefully we can get through it, get up the chain.
Yeah, well, I if there's anyone who's going to do it, obviously from Cap 3 yourself, you've got the experience and you've shown the quality, which is fantastic. So hopefully you can do it again. And it's always been quite efficient. I think that was the one thing at Caboolture was that aspiration to hit the Premier League. And I think you got there quicker due to circumstances than expected, which was, a great result to see over that 3-4 year period.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we got lucky to skip a year, but it was good.
Yeah. From there, we might segue. Oh, Tony, we got you back. I thought we lost you for a moment, mate.
They're trying to bounce. They pounced on me here, mate.
They pounced on you into the change room. I saw the boys walking past you.
Yeah, tough time, yeah.
How are they looking? What are their thoughts? Are they confident?
I don't know, mate. Moreton Bay are the most inconsistent team in the comp. They can beat anyone. They could also get cop 6 by anyone.
What type of night do you think they're in for?
I backed Olympic to win 4-1.
4-1. Ooh, that's a pretty big scoreline.
Yeah. But
moving on to that, we might jump into
the... I can lose it again.
Yeah. From that, Tony, we might jump into the NPL. Obviously, some good results, and you were talking to us. How did Friday go? Do you want to give us a bit of a review while you've got your panel there?
Who?
How'd Friday night go? I know you got out to AJ Kelly up at Peninsula.
I don't think I have ever seen a more dominant display by a team against another top 4 side.
Really? That's a bold statement, because even just looking within the two clubs themselves, do you think that this is the strongest squad that Olympic have since the NPL started?
If it's not, it's close to it. I mean, the one that won the comp a few years ago, that was a decent side, but this one seems to be a lot stronger across the board. So
what do you think Penn Power's issue was on Friday night?
Peninsula Power looked behind the pace.
Looked tired, did they?
They looked a bit flat, disorganised at the back. It could have been 5, and anyone that watched the game, it could have been 5-0 at half time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, I spoke to Ben Ryan last night, and he admitted it as well.
Maybe it's just getting to that end of the season there, you reckon, where there's some tired bodies and a few injuries and that have come in and affected people. And
Olympic seems to have decent depth.
Yeah.
Even tonight, Lofthouse is on the bench. He normally starts every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to have confidence if you're putting Jez on the bench. He's for me one of the standout players of the competition for sure.
But also too, I mean, like I said, it is getting to that end of the season now where Gold Coast, they may not be in touch with that top with those top guys, and perhaps if Gold Coast had something more to play for, maybe they might give up a better game, but all the luck to Olympic, I suppose, tonight, because it just makes the top of the table that more interesting coming in. Because I think Lions have got a bye this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Lions have the bye, so maybe the opportunity for Olympic to put some breathing space in there for the top.
They're playing tonight as well, but they're leading as well, aren't they, Lions?
Yeah, I haven't seen the score since half time, but
Yeah,
it was 1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty critical for them to get a result tonight if they want to stay up.
The thing that's going to hurt Power is suspensions.
Yeah,
Right.
good point, Tony. Obviously, Marek Madley sent off at full time on Friday night, and then losing Dan as well as Greenwood on the weekend.
Yeah.
There's some pretty big names out. What do you think? Is that going to maybe cause a stumble for them?
Well, I don't know how many weeks the guy got on Friday, but the other two will get a couple, you would think, this week. So they'll be out of the next couple of games.
Yeah, well, it's probably just as well that they go out now, like against Gold Coast and some lesser teams rather than some of the top teams. I suppose there is that.
Yeah. So,
Nathan, obviously with the NPL over the weekend, we saw over the past 7 days, we've seen 6 send-offs. Do you think it may be, or do you see it in your opinion as a coach? Is this the time of the year that maybe breaks teams for discipline? There's a bit too much pressure in some squads.
Look, obviously, top fours games get a bit fiery too, and obviously that last Friday night would have been a tough one for Power, especially at home. Power will be pretty good at home. But yeah, definitely back end of the season, and when you get those tough games, you tend to get some of them. It's just got to try to keep them. But yeah, definitely the big games and even the derbies, the ones you really got to try to settle your players down for.
Yeah, it's I think that's a big one. There's plenty of big games coming up, so I think that's going to be an interesting one to manage.
One thing to think about too is Pen Power's actually got a game in hand as well, I believe.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
yes.
Yeah, so that's an advantage to them, I suppose, as well.
So I think obviously Power, they're taking on Gold Coast United. I think that's going to be possibly open shut. Gold Coast United, a bit inconsistent at the moment. One of those other cards on the weekend, Sam Smith picked up a second caution for a second reckless challenge. So they'll be without him up front. We'll see. I think James Smelts may be back from suspension as well. So that could be some firepower and some depth to return up front. And then Xander Guy, I know he came back in and played, I think, about 30 minutes for them against Lions. So going to be interesting.
That could be a danger game for Power.
Could be. It is at home for Power too. So if they get a good supporter base there and play proper football, I think they'll get past Gold Coast quite easily.
I think myself. I'd back Power. They need a bit back, and especially like you said at home, and they will get support there.
Yeah.
I think, especially Power for myself, you can never write them off. It's I know Tony, you're quite fond supporter, but those top 4 teams, it's when they're playing anyone else, it's usually quite a contrast in terms of quality of football.
Especially when there's still something to play for as well.
Yeah, see, those the 4 have got nothing to play for now, so you don't know what they're going to dish out.
No.
I mean, outside of that, I think the other game, we're kind of looking at the other end of the table. Obviously, we spoke about a few of the clubs. As we have a look for that relegation battle, we've got 3 teams. So East sit 11th with 16 points. Brisbane City sit 12th with 14. And then Redlands sit in last place with 13 points. Redlands actually take on East. So this game will mean a lot to the season for both of these clubs.
Yeah.
As they battle to obviously stay up in the NPL.
Yeah.
Redlands were quite competitive against Knights the other week. What do you guys think on this one? Do you think this may be a bit closer? I know even East, they had a pretty dominant performance against Capalaba, one of the other ones that had been in the mix but had gotten themselves to safety. Is this a bit of a mystery game, or
I think like it doesn't matter what league you're playing, whether it's the Premier League or it's NPL in Queensland. I think harping back to that, getting to this end of the season, Redlands have got something to play for. Redlands will want to stay up. East will want to stay up. This is going to be a good game of football here, and I think Redlands. I'm going to tip Redlands on this one because I think that there's a lot riding on this for them. They don't want to get relegated. They're on the bottom of the table. They see East as a as a good opportunity down their end of town on the ladder to try and get a result. This is going to be their best. This is going to be their best chance for a while to get a result, and they're going to push it. So I'm choosing Redlands on this one.
Nathan, you really haven't been in this position. I don't know, through your coaching career. Would you have a contingency plan if you're in a relegation battle? Do you what are your thoughts on it? I know it's pretty exciting. How do you look at these situations? You're usually fighting for promotion.
Yeah, no. Obviously, going up, going to the Sunny Coast, that was hard, and we had some hard games. It's about the mentality of getting your players ready for the battle, and like back end, it's a war. Like this is where we're talking about cards, silly back chats, yellows. They all build up, and this is where you got to be on top of your players because like you said, like Redlands being at Redlands, they've got this is like you said, they've got their chance in a while, so that they need to come out ready. So it's all about having the mentality, players getting them ready for the battle really, and obviously geeing them up for the week of training, and they've got to fight for. It's a good league to stay in. So
you'd like to think that that the young Jordan Manning there would probably lean on Graham Harvey. I mean, we had Graham Harvey on just a few weeks ago. You'd like to think that there's some brain power there behind them to try and get him through this critical part of the season. So you hope that there's some good mentoring there for young Jordan, because it's his first year of coaching at that level, and for it'd be a hard lesson to take to be relegated on your first season. But I just hope that there's some good people there that are readying the squad, and they're getting into getting Jordan some good advice and help.
Yeah, Nate, obviously. Oh, Tony, yes, sorry, mate.
I tell you, I know some of my mates at Goodwin Park would love nothing more than to see Brisbane City go down.
That's a great segue.
Yeah.
I was lead into that. Nathan obviously mentioned Sunshine Coast. So Sunshine Coast Wanderers play Brisbane City on Sunday as well, roughly the same time.
Yeah.
What is it? Is everyone thinking it might be a bit of a shock? A club the size of Brisbane City possibly competing in the second tier of Queensland football?
Yeah. Look, I have to say, even down our end of town in Ipswich, there's been a few little digs about City being relegated, and there'll be some people there that'd like to see it. I mean, that's just a bit of banter, I guess, but I'm picking Sunny Coast for this one. I think they've shown a bit more form at the moment. City, when it's been coming to them being under a bit of pressure, they haven't really performed very well. So I'm tipping Sunny Coast.
Nathan, your thoughts? You've got a bit of experience previous years. Do you think the Sunny Coast Wanderers, I think previously Budgerham, before we got into the FQPL, do you think they've got the fight to stay up?
Yeah, look, like I said, Arnie's done a really good job down there, especially the fire going down and, Arnie going up. And Arnie lost a lot of players because players wanted more money, I believe, because they've gone up to NPL, and Arnie stuck to his guns, had it hard at the start, and like you said, they've hit a bit of form. Brisbane City, I think, I just think they just think everything should be given. So they just need to, I'll probably be back in Arnie's Wanderers.
Yep.
On this one.
One thing you got to give him, and something that I love about him, is the tenacity and his passion to win. You always see it there with him. No matter what it is, he's always up for a contest and always keen for a battle.
He's got him round most of the times.
Yeah. Another couple of questions for you. Obviously, you've mentioned you got a 3-year plan with Narangba. Your ambitions, you've got a really good coaching record, one of the best at the moment that you got to think within FB. Would you apply a trade at the state level? Do you think you'd have a go at that possibly once your time with Narangba finishes up?
Yeah, I don't know. I never say never, but I've got to go doing all the tickets first, and then see where I am from there. I get to a stage where I prefer to then start giving back to juniors. I've done so much in the senior arena. I'll probably look to go more juniors, but like you said, I never say never. Someone could come up with a good offer or something like that. You always will turn your head. But at this stage, my focus is on Narangba, getting them to where me and Alex talked about, and then you never know.
Yeah,
could be Brisbane City, eh?
That's it, yeah.
Wow.
That's one of my former clubs.
There you go. They might be getting a phone call after this.
Maybe. Yeah, just see what happens this weekend.
Fantastic. So obviously some big games. So as we mentioned, Redlands take on East on Sunday. That's at 6:00. Brisbane City take on Sunshine Coast Wanderers. That's at 5:30. And then some of the big teams, obviously Penn Power take on Gold Coast United on Saturday. And then Olympic go and play away against Brisbane Raw Youth.
Joey, it's at home.
Is that at home?
The Raw Youth game against Olympic, I think, is at Goodwin Park.
They've been kicked out of there.
Yeah. The Raw Youth have been tossed out of Logan.
There you go. Goodwin Park. I'm glad. I would have turned up at Logan.
There you go. You would have missed out on the souvlaki, mate.
Tony, save me, mate. Some of the best food you got getting around. How is Olympic not in there up the top for some of the votes for best bar in SEQ?
Surely.
With the number one canteen in Brisbane.
Best canteen in Queensland this month here, mate. I put on 3 kilos every time I come here.
Well, I think you've got to jump on the pole and throw the hat in the ring for him. Get campaigning.
Just ask me, I'll tell you.
It's I've got to admit they run a very tight ship and a really good club, especially on match day. I always enjoy dropping by Olympic.
Big Perry's here next to me, mate.
Perry the man.
Hiya, buddy.
Perry. High Viz ground official. You know you're well looked after. He's the man.
I'm not cooking tonight.
Awesome. From there with the NPL, we might segue into that after we've had our special guest Perry drop by. We'll jump back into the FQPL.
Yes.
Okay, Lliam, what's standing out for you, mate? You're our expert in this draw.
I try to be
this weekend.
Okay, so Logan have made a little bit of a breakaway with a win over Thunder last weekend, so they're sitting top of the league, 36-34. I grossly underestimated the score with that. I said 1-0 to Thunder. I'm proud to say that wasn't my best of guesses on a result. This weekend it kicks off, I think, with Rochdale and Knights. Rochdale will get this one. Knights again, they've lost Munn. They've also lost their brilliant midfielder Otsuka this last fortnight. He's actually had to head home because of a hip injury, so he's gone back to Japan. So they've lost Munn and they've lost and Otsuka. That's two pretty good midfielders, and they did a lot for Knights at the start of the season, got them up in a pretty good position. But look, it just depends how they bounce back. Okay, who else we got? We got Logan and Wolves. Now this is going to be a cracker. If this deserves more attention than it's probably getting at the moment, because Wolves, as you said, their last time they dropped points, Joey, as you said to me before, was against Thunder, where they lost 3-1 to Thunder back in August. So Wolves, as you know, those of us that follow it, they're really on a rampage at the moment. They came down from 2-0 down against my Pride boys last weekend, and come over the top 4-2. So yeah, these guys are on a roll, a real roll.
Absolutely. Obviously, one of the other games Saturday's Pride versus Southside Eagles. Do you think it's going to be a good opportunity for them?
Well, look, Pride have been pretty inconsistent, and it's just they've lost two good midfielders as well to injury. They've lost Neil and Brown, and Killian the Irishman, and Adam Sawyer may have got a little bit of an injury back again during training last week. So just chatting to him at Briggs Road there last week. So look, Pride they're on their bare bones. Bare bones, is that the saying? They're really well and truly into their I don't know, whatever. They're well and truly into their depth now. So look, Pride at home on a good pitch. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring affair. I think Pride will just do enough to get over the line. I think Southside, their season's long gone. Just personally, I think Pride will get over them. But look, it'll be harder. It'll still be a hard match, but I think that they'll get there in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other games that round out, obviously, the FQPL for this weekend, Holland Park Hawks, they take on Mitchie at home.
Yep.
And then Sunday's only fixture for the FQPL, Sunny Coast Fire, they take on Thunder.
Thunder, yep.
That's another interesting one.
It is. And look, Fire, look, they're getting better towards the end of the season, but they're too far gone. So I look, Thunder, if they get a result with this and the result against Logan and Wolves doesn't go Logan's way, Thunder are going to catch Logan again. So it's going to go right to the end of the season for these guys to get promoted. And Logan have chucked everything but the kitchen sink or the kitchen fridge or whatever that saying is to try and get promoted the last how many seasons. So and Thunder are keen to get back up into the NPL. And look, both sides deserve to be up there because they've played some really good football. I mean, Thunder, the start of their season was just ridiculous. So
absolutely. And obviously in this competition, there's only 4 rounds left, but depending what club it is, that's 4 to 5 games remaining. So it's coming down to the wire.
Absolutely, yeah. So and again down with the, I'm not sure. Did we find out what's happening with the final series? Was there a final series or was it top 4, top 6? I can't recall. Did we find that out last week?
I think there's a finals, but I might have to do some research.
I don't know.
I'm still figuring out. Thanks,
yeah.
Nathan's been a good enough bloke and filled us in what's happening in FB because I was clueless. I thought there was 11 rounds.
Well, so if it's top 4, then the 2 Ipswich teams, they'll be gone. They're out. But if it's top 6, Knights and Pride, it'll come down to the last games of the season, and that there's still a derby to go with that as well at Bundamba. So that'll be with 2 teams that have kind of battling for injuries at the wrong end of the season. I bet that's going to be for bragging rights towards the end of the season. Personally, I want Pride to finish above Knights, but that's only because I'm a green and white who's blinded, So, yeah. But look, it's good to have that rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we mentioned there in terms of promotion relegation, there's only 1 spot this year in a lot of competitions, if not any at all. Nathan, obviously coaching and being quite good at climbing the ladders, things like that. We've come back to it a few times tonight. How do you feel about it this year, obviously having less opportunity of promotion relegation? Do you think it maybe helps the situation this year, or do you find it might hinder the competition in terms of value, not just for the teams competing, but obviously the people engaged with the tournaments?
Well, it is definitely harder. I didn't understand most of the decisions coming out of Football Brisbane, considering we've already played 1 game and then they give us a round of 16. So that's 17 games. There's only 4 more games to make up for the season. So I don't know why they should have just left 2 up, 2 down. But because if you look at it, it takes I think it's 2020 to get the all back together because 3 go down next year, 2 go up, and then when you go back to 2020, it's back to normal. It makes no sense. But they at least should have done like 1 up, 1 down at least. But it does put a little bit of pressure on, obviously. But you just gotta roll for punches, I guess. You just gotta go, mate. You just gotta go with it. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with some of the decisions they made, but I don't know how they come up with them, but they do.
What have we missed? What have we missed? What was that?
I reckon I would have scored that. Scored that with my right foot, and it's only to use to balance.
I think
too much couscous.
Yeah.
From there, boys, we might wrap it up. Obviously, some good games this weekend, despite the reduced fixtures in Football Brisbane. Once again, Nathan, I want to thank you for your time and your input. Fantastic to have your insight into the game. Thanks,
mate. Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
I'll hold you that.
Nathan, I'll talk to Leo tomorrow.
You'll talk to
Yeah. I've got his number too. I might have asked him as well.
Oh, mate.
Just
need a
hey,
referee to ruin it and make it about himself. You know where I am.
Joey can referee it.
Hey Joey, just two quick shout outs. First one is obviously to Western Pride's under 18 FQPL team. They won the
Absolutely, yeah.
they-
That's
they-
big over the weekend.
they won the league. These guys will go again next year because I don't think any of them were 18. I think they're all 17. So they'll go again next year, and it's going to be if we can keep these boys together for under 20s and into the senior squad. Some of them have already played in the senior squad because of obviously with losing some depth there. But yeah, shout out to them, and also shout out to the team that Pride actually defeated there on Saturday night. Mitchelton. Yeah, they had to back up again the next day and go to Harvey Bay, play another game straight away on the Sunday. You know that and I think Wide Bay had to travel as well the next day. So these under 18 boys have been pushed a fair bit the last weekend. I mean, of course, they're a lot fitter than what we are probably right now. So, but still, you know, having a drive from Ipswich up to Harvey Bay and then back again, you know, it's crap. You know, it really is. But I hope they got what they wanted out of it anyway.
Absolutely. Well called out, Liam.
All right, boys.
Once again, Tony, thank you for your evening. Thank you for your updates. Liam, thank you as always.
No worries, boys. Thank you.
Well, like Nathan,
All right, cheers, brother.
got the battle
Thanks,
of the
boys.
team.
We'll
Yeah,
see you
mate.
next week.
All right, see you, mate.
See you later.
See you,
Bye.
boys.